Welcome to Rome, Italy, the first stop in our Mediterranean adventure. Instead of flying in the day of our cruise departure, our family decided to arrive 2 days early so we could experience one of the most historic cities in the world before boarding our cruise ship. This trip was extra special because it wasn't just a vacation, it was a family adventure. There were 9 of us traveling together, ranging in age from 23 years old to 82 years old. And I spent over 8 months planning every detail of this trip, from choosing the cruise line, the flights, finding the perfect Airbnb, arranging transportation to and from the airports, and booking tours that everyone could enjoy. After landing at Rome's airport, we chose to hire a private shuttle instead of taking the train into the city. Since my father-in-law has mobility challenges and the flight was 14 hours, it made it much more sense for our group. With traffic and the drive into Rome, which took about an hour, this was honestly one of the best decisions we made. We stayed in a wonderful Airbnb that turned out to be in the perfect location. Even better, right below our Airbnb was Grand Cafe Maggiore, where we enjoyed an authentic family-style Italian dinner our first evening. During the day, they served pastries, fresh coffee, sandwiches, food, and of course, plenty of delicious gelato. It quickly became one of our favorite spots to stop before heading out for the day. Our first full day started with a guided skip-the-line tour of the Vatican museums, the Sistine Chapel, and St. Peter's Basilica. I do want to offer one piece of advice here based on our experience. If you're traveling with elderly family members or anyone with mobility concerns, you need to prepare yourself. This tour involves hours of continuous walking with very few opportunities to stop and rest. My father-in-law did an amazing job, but by the time we reached the Vatican, he was already exhausted. Unfortunately, he didn't have enough energy left after walking the Vatican to fully enjoy the Sistine Chapel. One thing we learned is that while guided tours are convenient, they also move very quickly. There were hundreds of people, and it often felt like we were being hurried from one room to another, just trying to keep up with our guide. Looking back on this, I think I would recommend exploring the Vatican on your own if your schedule allows it. It gives you the flexibility to slow down, spend some more time appreciating the beautiful artwork, and take breaks whenever you need them. Later that afternoon, we hopped aboard one of Rome's hop-on, hop-off buses, and I have to say this was one of the best ways to see the city in a short amount of time. We were able to drive past many of Rome's famous landmarks while deciding which places we wanted to get off the bus and explore more. We also visited 2 of Rome's most iconic attractions, the Pantheon and the Trevi Fountain. Just be prepared for crowds. Both locations were extremely busy and there were lines just to get close enough for pictures. We also passed by the famous Colosseum, but with only 2 days in Rome, there simply wasn't enough time to see everything. Our first evening, we ended the day with one of the highlights of our time in Rome. We did a 4-hour twilight food tour through the Trastevere neighborhood. This wasn't just a food tour. Along the way, we learned about Rome's history while stopping at several locations and sampling authentic Italian food, desserts, wine, beer, and other local specialties. I would highly recommend scheduling this tour in the late afternoon like we did. Starting around 4 o'clock meant the temperatures were beginning to cool off, and by the end of the evening, the streets had completely come alive with locals, music, and nightlife. This tour was an easy 10 out of 10 and something I would absolutely do again. Here's some planning tips. One thing we learned very quickly is that Rome involves a tremendous amount of walking. If you're traveling with parents, grandparents, or anyone who has difficulty walking long distance, make sure to plan plenty of breaks throughout your day. Comfortable walking shoes, water, and realistic expectations will make the experience much more enjoyable for everyone. Looking back, 2 days in Rome simply wasn't enough. We packed as much as we could into our visit, but Rome is one of those cities that deserves to be explored slowly. Between the history, architecture, incredible food, and unforgettable atmosphere, we left knowing we'd definitely be back someday. If you're planning a Mediterranean cruise, I highly recommend arriving a few days early. Not only will you avoid the stress of flying in on embarkation day, but you'll also get the experience of one of the world's greatest cities before your cruise even begins. Thanks again for joining us as we've kicked off our Mediterranean adventure, and hope to see you at the next stop. Please like and subscribe to our page.